I was confused for a second because I saw Killboy and then Killboy. Also, your color changed. Hi, Killboy. How's it going? You did 2 messages. That's cute. I was texting Jacob before I got started. I'm starting a little bit late because I just pushed an update. I wanted to get the update out before I started streaming. Now I'm going to work on stuff, maybe. Maybe work on some battle system stuff. Now that I got all the majority of the bugs fixed. And on Monday, we'll be putting one announcement out about something that I can't speak of yet. Not as exciting as some other announcements we're going to make, but still an interesting announcement. And then we'll go from there. But tonight, ding, 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 ding. Oh no, it's Tom Sutton here at you live from his ding dings. Hey, Tom. How'd the rest of your stream go? I wasn't there for. Oh, I lurked. I lurked like I can't have audio on of someone talking because I always want to participate. Then I don't get shit done. I don't do anything. Like, I'm just gonna lurk because if I don't lurk, nothing will happen. Nothing. Literally nothing will happen. Look, successfully finished the build. Pushed everything up. It's a terminal condition because it's a terminal. Anyway, fixed a lot of bugs this week. Understandable. Yeah, I get it. Drunk already? Wow. I mean, it is evening, so I guess it's legal. I'm going to do some co-working with myself. Motzi working on stuff. And things. What am I going to do? I'm going to look at my battle system and figure out what I'm doing next. Got the sprite loading done, then just uploaded some stream sound. Well, I was working on sprite loading too, but it was more to undo mistakes of my past that I created for myself. Okay. So, I need to do some planning. Do I need to do some planning? I need to do some planning-ish. I need to make a planning document. I think I need to do some planning. I don't know how well my document's going to work while I'm streaming. Oh, I forgot to get my YouTube channel up. I don't get a lot of traffic on my YouTube thing. I wonder if I even need to multi-stream to it. Everyone says you should multi-stream, but I mean, if nothing's happening over there, I don't know if I need. And I realize, like, when I look down, I'm really looking down. Like that. View channel. There I am. All right. Occasionally I look over at my YouTube and there's like, one person will say, "Oh, hi, you're working on stuff." I'm like, "Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. Sorry." Okie dokie. Let's go look at some planning documents. I actually already have a document for the battle action and animation planning. I got advice from Oliver because I was trying to. Basically, I had an idea what I wanted to do for the battle system, but I always like to bounce my ideas off of other people. I'm very much if I have an idea, I think I know the direction, but I want to just for like sanity check. I want to check it against other people, and it turned out like the notes I was gonna take just worthless. It's just like wasn't even useful. It wasn't that Wallaber wasn't helpful, but it was like a lot of it was mostly confirming what I was going to do. And so it didn't turn out to be much more than what I was already going to plan. No, not new ideas for battle. Our battle system, I converted into like a node graph solution, which I think is hilarious how it looks, because it looks like a giant brain. When you zoom out, like a giant brain battle, which is appropriate. So I spent a lot of time building the node system that's used in game for all the actions that take place. And that node system is based on the Smile Game Builder system. So there's a lot of the commands that hook into Smile Game Builder. But I made the battle system not do that. I mean, it uses Smile Game Builder, but it doesn't do the same approach to execution that the Smile Game Builder stuff does. So, if I want to make nodes for battle, I've got to like rebuild things, which is fine. But it's just more work. That's all. Always more work. Game Builder, I hardly knew her. I think you would be funny to hang out with, or annoying, or both. I'm kidding. I'm the one that's annoying usually. I'm the annoying one to hang out with. Usually I'm the one when I hang out with people that I'm like, oh, I hope they don't, get tired of me. Because they usually do. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to evaluate where we're at with the battle system, and then decide how we want to do our next step. And since I already have my debugger on, what I might do is find the nodes that do things like these actions and stuff, and then see what the flow of actions look like. Because it's basically everything that happens in all those gray things, all of that's logic. That's it. There's no actual there's no visual actions that take place. If this were a brain, these would be where the eyes go. Because everything else, I mean, granted, your eyes don't project images to other people, but if you were talking about the visual aspect, all of the visual aspect of battle pretty much happens right here. There is some aspect here where you're doing selection and stuff, but it's really not that important. All of the real stuff happens in these three nodes. And really, it's like actions start, a notification shows, actions end, and that's it. So if you think about like everything that gets calculated and manipulated for battle, it's just like node after node after node, and then there's like sequence of actions. So this is the part that's going to get expanded. What I want to do is just remember how I did anything here. So I'm going to go to process attack action. I think that's probably the easiest one to start with. Process attack action node. I named it. So they always have an execute. Now the execute action. Why is this not there? Execute comes from battle. Oh, right. Wow. Okay, base graph runner. So this is the graph runner. And I kind of want to look, at the start of a graph run, just to remember how it fits together. The graph runner is going to be it's almost going to be my replacement equivalent for like a script runner. Except not. So I'm going to see how this runs and remember. I know I wrote it, but one of the reasons I write code the way I do is even though I have good memory, I do a lot of writing of code. And I hate having to go back and unwind what I did before. So I always try to write code in a way that I could come back and read it and generally understand it. I try to minimize the amount of stuff I have to remember in order to read my own code. So this is why I like when I give Wallaber a hard time about using single letter variables, is that the Motzi of the time, if I were to use single letter variables, I might know exactly what I'm doing. But the later Motzi might forget why I use a single variable, and I'll be like, okay, well, whatever. So as long as I use words that are clear, even dumb like me is going to remember it later when I get back to it. Rat. I did just realize something unfortunate. I can't test on this one. So I literally just did a deployment off of a patch branch, and the patch branch does not have all my newest code. So we're gonna do it live. I would use a single letter variable for a counter. There's another aspect about me that is interesting. I've decided not to use single letter variables at all. No exception. Ever. Let's see. I don't know why this does it this way. And yeah, well, if the thing is, like, the context that you're doing it, if every bit matters, you should be using single letter variables everywhere. Unless there's some way that it translates down when it compiles, then it doesn't matter. Like, if the code you write is what ends up on your cart, then you would want to minimize the amount of code you write. If the code gets compiled down, it's different. So, like, if the name doesn't matter, like, doesn't matter if you name it, this is my crazy big iterator, and it just compiles down to a bit or something, then or byte, not a bit. But if it compiles down a bit, I don't know if I should show any of this stuff that I'm doing. Push my branch. Oh, Jacob, why would you do this to me? Jacob, push some things. The actual name doesn't matter? Okay. And so in which case, I would always use names. Always. Without fail. And I think the reason is, what I think is really not because of me exactly. Although, like, there's part of it that's because of me. The other part is working with developers. And I realize, like, it's like children. You give them an inch, then they take a mile. And I just don't. I just wanted to stop dealing with it. Don't want to deal with people saying, well, but we could do single letters for this or that. To be fair, though, I do allow single letters, and now the only time I allow it is within link queries. And that's mostly because I'm lazy. I think I really shouldn't. I think I should use actual variable names. The problem I found with link queries, that's in C#, it's like the little closure-based way to do queries on data and stuff, is that they're like SQL queries in a way, and if you use full names, it starts conflicting with other names. I'm just like, damn it, don't want to deal with it. But that's the only time I do it. So I guess I do have exceptions. Okay, so stuff. I mean, I guess I don't know if there's anything in here that's not shareable. Like, is there anything here that's super important? I don't think you could even make heads or tails of it. I'll share it since I'm doing it. So here's my branches, and I have to push this. I'm using a thing called plastic. If I see anything dangerous on here, I guess I'll move it away. YOLO. Who's gonna go look at my screen and, oh my god, you put that in there? Oh. That's exactly how they would sound. So we're gonna pull this branch. Someone did an early access update. Wonder who did that. Then I have to go to my branches. You just switch to our early access branch. I have to quit Unity because I just don't want to mess with Uni keeps some things in memory, which is super obnoxious. And if you were to do an update and something was in memory, it can get wonky. So I just always quit Unity. Whenever I'm switching my branches like this, I always quit Unity. I want to deal with it. Have any pending changes? So now we're going to pull in. I have to pull in. What is the latest? So many fixes. I fixed a lot. Oh wow, I can't believe I even said that. What was the last early access update? That one. No, but I just pulled an update. So what update did I just pull? That can't be the one, can it? Hey, Donut. My dad said that, but I was born anyways. My mom quoted. The actual name doesn't matter. I shall name this child Donut. This has got to be. I guess the best way for me to find out. No, what is it? What did I pull then? What was in? Because I pulled down the early access. Did I push a chain set from a different brand? We're here. These are all my changes. So what's pending? We got controls. Maybe this one? Maybe Jacob did this. Let's see. I'm a little nervous because let me try pushing this and seeing. Okay, who has the other head? 2 heads are better than one. It's 986 and 0B0. 9860B0. Don't forget. 9860B0. My chain set. Easy. 986. This one? Seems close. Trying another. Oh, I know why. Okay. That makes sense. This is me. I am the creator of my own problems. It's because I was working on the build server stuff on a different machine and I pushed all those changes. I really need to put my build server stuff in a different code base entirely. Hi, Machi chat. Matzo. Hi, chat. Machi, what's your favorite character from Alterium Shift? All of them. I wrote them. Every single one. They're my children. I love them equally. That was the creator of my own problems. Push that up. Good. And then we'll go back to our chain sets. And we're going to pull. Did I have pushed that up? I just pushed in-flight work on battle system up. YOLO. What's your favorite character, Donut? That's what I want to know. I want to know what love is. Want you to show me Tom Sutton. You can knock on my door any day, Tom Sutton. Merge from this team. I got 2 kids, but I got a favorite. I'm not that kind of dad. I got no kids. I don't think you do. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you don't have kids, but you know, who am I to say? Persistent Store, don't give a flip about Persistent Store. You are my bane of my own existence because I created you. It says, conflict. They might require manual intervention. No, I'm just going to take the contributor. No, that's not what I want. I want keeping their changes. There we go. I guess I can merge these ones, but I don't think there's anything important. You haven't played the game yet? Well, why do you ask? Merge in all the fixes. You're saving for it? You can play the demo. You can play the demo. We need to relook at our regional pricing. I don't know how it works because we need to make pricing that's like regionally locked, but also reasonably priced. I don't know how that normally works though. Steam has a way to do that though. Okay, so I think I'm on the latest of our code base now. I have everything merged in. Now I can actually pretend like I'm going to work and not talk to Donut the whole time. You good? For some reason, our broke ass don't. We broke ass, but we don't take into account for price differences. Dominican Republic. Oh, okay. Is there some like information out there about what you should do for pricing in the Dominican Republic? I should take a look. Steam pricing recommendations for the Dominican Republic. Regional pricing for Dominican Republic. I've been using Steam for almost 8 years. Steam doesn't set the prices, publishers do. Yes, but what do you... I should go. Maybe I'll use ChatGPT. It'll tell me what I should do. I have a game. I'm using my other computer because my browser tends to be slow on this main one for some reason. On Steam for $19.99 USD. What do you recommend I set the price to for the Dominican Republic? What it says. Oh, $100 million billion. I'm sorry, that's what it says. $100 million billion. Let me go look at the pricing now. Dude, I'm gonna do this live. Donut, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing it live. Well, I'm not gonna show you me doing it, but I'll do it over here. If my browser would work. Come on, browser. You can do this. See what I'm saying? Look at what my browser's doing. I don't know what it is about streaming, but it does weird stuff. Partner dot... Is it Steam game? I'm doing it for our audience of one in the Dominican Republic. All of the people from the Dominican Republic watching right now are going to get brand new pricing. How do I do that actually? Fencing. Oh, I can't spell pricing right. Pricing. See how I'm avoiding getting work done for Donut? Just because of Donut, I'm doing this. My child. My child from another wilds. My son from another bum. I don't know. Where did... Okay. Apps and packages? There it is. Pricing. Hold up. Okay, so there's our pricing. What is the currency of the Dominican Republic? It's USD LATAM. You had execute underlined in red. Yeah, it's fine. That's not red. That's just telling me that's expensive. As expensive as our game in the Dominican Republic. Do you guys use the USD LATAM? Latam? Wait. Can I use a different view here? Come on. Can I do LATM? No, come on. It's like it's the most inefficient way for me to search for pricing. Where is it? USD LATAM. It doesn't even have special pricing. Recommended price. Select. Boom. Oh yeah. Much less expensive than it was before, baby. Oh my god. Some of these prices are just absurd. I know it's because the currency is different in these different countries. What needs review? Save these changes to submit. Review and save. We wanted to go from nothing to something. Okay. All right. Pricing changes for Latin America coming your way, friendo. But Steam has to review it, so I have no idea when they'll get that done. It'll publish the second it's ready. Apologies for that. Apparently, the publisher we had before never even put Latin American pricing in there. I think it was because the game isn't localized at all. I actually don't. But for watching my stream and harassing me about pricing, you get an immediate discount. Whenever it shows up for Latin America. It is entered now. I apologize it took so long. We actually got some emails from people that says, hey, your regional pricing needs to be updated for Latin America. And I responded to the person, hey, you know what? That's great. What do you like? Tell me more. Like I responded and then they just sent me the same email. And I was like, this must be some kind of spam or something, because I kept responding to the person, or I responded to them, and they just kept sending me the same message. So I'm like, okay, so maybe it's just some kind of scam. Hopefully it will be appropriate. If you look at it and curse my name, well, then that's what you do. Then I'll say my name, say my name. You're acting kind of crazy and complaining about my pricing, driving me insane. Pay no attention to the weirdness of that. Well, or whatever. Okay, so here's how our runners work. Do run, run, run. Do run, run. So we're running our runner in a running sort of way. It's very runner. Why you gotta give me the run around? So we don't have a runner. We create context. See, context is important. I don't really like my method of doing context because it's like kind of dirty. They're running well enough. I'm guessing the way Steam works, the pricing change, they can take up to 24 hours for it to happen. But it could happen immediately. I don't know. Donut, you'll have to tell me. I don't live in the Dominican Republic. Starting graph, runner state. Okay, so this is all just like basic script runner stuff. And then we execute our nodes, and we do them individually. Excuse me. Oh no, this is just me tracking nodes that we're executing. Can continue. Oh, okay. So the way that I did this, I think I wanted a way that I could stop nodes from running. I think can continue. So what did I do? Like, what's the name of my other node? I can't look at my nodes because it's in debugger mode. Well, we'll just run this. So, in my node system, the next thing you know, Donut's going to go out and tell everybody, and all of a sudden, there's going to be a rush of people saying, "Hey, I didn't have my money's not right with the world." What's weird with mine? Being weird. I mean, I don't believe we have tons of viewers, but I think we have more than like 2 on there. Just watch this and wait it. Watching, waiting, commiserating. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Okay. So we should be in selecting things mode. And that node is called Show Battle Action Selector. There we go. That's what it is. Oh, okay. Yeah. Come make me change my pricing and then you just leave me. I see how it is. Have a good night. Or have a good nap. Whatever. Enjoy the sun. Show Battle Action Selector. Okay, now the bot stuff should be okay. Sun sounds nice right now. I mean, it's 9:26 here in the evening, so not really sunny. How is there 11 p.m. sun? How do you get sun at 11 p.m.? Are you on the equator? Is that where the Dominican Republic is? No way there's a 11 p.m. sun. Unless it's in your brain. Sun brain. Brain sun. That's not how the southern hemisphere works. Are you in the southern hemisphere? Enjoy your sun. I thought you said have a good one. Drink water, stretch, take sun. Yeah, because you said take sun. I thought that's what you were doing. I thought you were saying you were going to go take sun, and I was like, how is that possible? It's nighttime, isn't it? So I got really confused. Okay, so I do use can continue as a way for it. That's good. Okay. So I should be able to do this then. Go sleep like a puppy boy. Hope you have a rough time. Giggity. Power up your naps. Go for the nap power. Nappy McNapperson. Alright, we're gonna tap our hornet. Ooh. Okay. So our system of doing actions is really simple. We execute an action. In this case, because we're doing it in our battle sequence node, we do it in the context. So basically, this node is my base node for executing things inside of a battle. And I made it as a wrapper. Those who know what wrapper classes are, so that I can intercept, execute, and pass along a version of the context that matches battle context. Okay, so it's really, really simple. But I think my thought process on this was, if I was going to make special graphs, I would want nodes for those specializations. Presumably, I could always just use a base node and then check what the context is. And that's kind of what I did. But all these nodes are very specific to battle. And so it's a lot of conceptual things I don't know if it makes sense to explain in detail. But suffice it to say, it's hopefully not too complicated, but it's complicated enough. You know, it's like not quite simple, but not quite overly complicated. At least everything's named right. Okay, so when we do process attack action, it's this node that's calling it. The base node is calling the execute, right? Actually, but this is overridden. I wonder. Why I overrode it. It's kind of weird they did that. I'm still pretty sure that this gets called first. Now I'm not entirely positive. I guess what I could do is go to the node that is, I think it's like execute attack, execute action. Action executor, battle, no. I don't remember the name of the node now. Action nodes. Here. It's here. Oh, we go. Process. These are the processors. This must be, oh, display. Okay, there you go. So play action animation node. So this is the node that plays the animation. Right? The question that I want to answer is, does this battle sequence execute still run? Yeah. Okay. Not really. I'm not sure why I overrode this. It feels like it shouldn't be overridden. Like it should just be like this. Oh, is that? Whatever. So, so this is the thing that plays the animation right now. What is it going to check here? So this is the, yeah, okay. So can continue. Cop out solution. I need another flag because I do a coroutine to wait. So I'm being lazy and just add another flag to the context that now has to get reset at the end. The method of the method is waiting for action. Okay, so I cheated. Got it. And this is because the way Smile Game Builder does its animation. So I might end up actually completely removing all of this. Because what I would want to do instead of using like the default Smile Game Builder approach is to use action sequence of my own devising. So this does like execute command start. Oh my god, this is so... Oh my god, this is so laborious. Sorry, I'm having flashbacks from having to understand how their code works. It's special. They have this action, so they had the same idea basically, where they're like, oh, we're gonna make it so we could conceivably have other action handlers, and then they basically never have other action handlers. Always the same. Okay, so execute action. This is the thing that actually triggers based upon whatever the battle command is, whatever is supposed to be executed. It's attack, critical, whatever. So, and this is like the start of it. You can see in my code. I'm doing this for my sake, really. I'm talking to Matzi in my head. But if someone else is listening thinking, yes, Matzi, please explain it. Just imagine I'm talking to you directly. Because you're the one that's really engaged on this. So the way this works, we hit this node, and the first thing we have to find out is, are we in a can continue state, or are we waiting for some kind of action to happen? If not, it means we're at the start. This is the first time we've hit this node. I actually don't remember why I did not can continue. There must be something I set somewhere that says you can't continue yet. Or maybe I defaulted to can. Yeah, I should find that out actually. No, I don't do anything for can continue. So I don't know how I set that to null, right? But however I did it, right now we're in a state where we can't continue. And we're not waiting for anything. We're in the beginning. And then we say, let's wait for some action to happen. So we're going to start the command. And then we're going to start waiting for something to happen. This sets to true. So at this point, now, the next time this runs, this thing runs constantly. Basically, every frame, it's being interrogated basically for what's next. It says, okay, we're ready for action. Sorry, if we're waiting for an action to happen, and the actor's ready, that means the actor's not doing anything. And this is really obnoxious. This is the battle state frame. This is like frames of battle to decide whether it can check or not. It's absurd how they did this. I just can't. I mean, it's obnoxious. Then this is the point in which like the character went and did some kind of attack or something, and then we play the effect of that attack. So like the character swung their sword, and then something hits, and it makes an effect on the screen. And then it allows this thing to fall through to the next thing. So it's a pretty complicated and obnoxious thing. And what I'm opting to do is replace this entirely with our own method of defining anything we want. And so what I'm going to end up with, so now I have like, I'm pretty sure I have a sense of how this is going to work. So now I can kind of go back and look at some of the noding. So when the character, when I do like, here, I'll do a freeze, right? I'll freeze the Hornet. Okay. So you saw he jumped forward to do his action. The frames go really fast. So as he's jumping forward, this thing is happening because the actor's ready because his animation for coming up is done. And then that's the effect playing. And then this is the tagline that shows above. This is the thing that actually shows in between the action and the effect. So at this point, it's like, okay, we're done with the playing the action node. These actors are going to finish whatever they're doing, and then we're going to move into the reaction phase. Well, I guess it's going to move into the reaction phase at some point. I must have something on the other end that's like when the animations are done playing, right? So this has like an effect where it shakes the screen, and the ice is playing on top of it. Ice fades away, and then reaction starts happening. So this is the reaction node. And then the character slides back instead of walking back for whatever reason. And then the reaction is, well, they died. And this is the amount of damage that was taken. Okay. This is something that I added. And then it continues. And so then the next character has its thing, and it does its attack, and so on and so forth. Okay. So what happened all in that entire sequence, which I thought I'd put something that would show highlights, but I'm going to talk through it again. So when the hermit attacked, he did his little thing and the effect played. The action message showed. The reaction has a wait time on it, so it doesn't start playing until the effect of the other action's done or almost done. And then while that's all finishing up and the damage is showing, it goes back into the sequence and starts all of the brain power stuff again. If the character's next movement, like if it's a monster going to attack, then it hits the sequence of monster effects. So it circumvents all of this crud. And then it goes into the monster effect and the monster attack. There should be... I don't think I wired anything up for playing the monster effects. So right now, I would have to go to the part where monster effects happen. Hold on. Player selection. No, I guess I didn't. So it must be that I didn't do anything special with the monster attacks, which would make sense, I think, because if I attack you, and I like how that health bar went away. Yeah, you see that? So I never actually wired up the monster effect. which is fine. However I do this, the actions will work out. I'll just have to find the spot to put it in there. But right now, the monsters are still doing it sort of their old style. And only the main characters have the new thing with the big, effect. That's totally fine. Okay. So, now I need to find a way to essentially jump from the sequence of events for playing actions to a different graph that will play the actions and then have it jump back to this graph. Okay. So let's look at our action solutions here. And it so happens I actually had started the process of making actions. And I think I just didn't know how I wanted it to work, so I just didn't do it yet. But I did make the graph, so that's good. Another thing called an action graph. Battle action graph. Right now, a battle action graph is an extension of the base node graph. And currently I don't have anything special set up for it. We also have is it a battle sequence graph? Apparently I didn't do anything special there either. Let me go take a look. I'm pretty sure that I only want the battle action graph to contain a certain type of node. And right now, this can do any type of node. So I'm gonna have to do something that limits the nodes that we can use on here. We don't want to use story nodes because those require SGB scripts. And we don't want to do battle nodes. So I got to find out, how did I exclude nodes? Let me go to common. Story graph, let's see. Common? No. Common event graph? That was... it's the editor. Okay. So common editor. Here we go. So this is the editor of the graph, the thing that shows up for editing things. And this is how it limits what can be shown. So if I go into my battle section, we have editor, we have a battle action graph editor and a battle sequence graph editor. Good. I had already done that. Perfect. Oh, interesting that I have exclusions, but they still show. Because this is supposed to allow only battle nodes and core node graph nodes. I wonder why it's still showing more. It's actually very strange. Story, common quest. Maybe it's because the story graph nodes are different. We'll do walk node, for instance. The story base node. Story.nodes. I wonder if I have to include gratis source. Can I just not read? There we go. So story.common story. Wait a minute. Story.nodes. I mean, I just want to exclude all of them, right? I don't want any of them. Can I just do story.node? Try that. This is the battle action graph editor. I'll turn off my debugger because it helps the build marginally. but it's going to take a moment. I like how I started to create a document, but I don't know if I need a document, to be honest. I mean, I could write up my notes on how this is going to work. But a lot of this is going to be just, there's going to be a component of this I just have to get the concept of an action graph working. I have to be able to create nodes that can affect actors on the screen that still understand Smile Game Builder, but don't use the Smile Game Builder script runner. Because I am trying to like slowly extract from using Smile Game Builders. Okay, good. So it was just that I didn't have story nodes excluded properly. I wonder, it's weird that did I have an issue on the battle? Yeah, so I should just be able to do story nodes, right? That should exclude all of them. Okay. Not gonna rebuild that one though. Don't need that, don't care. So yeah, let's do some documentation thoughts. Let's think through this at least on a marginal level so we can pretend like we had some thought process. And by we, I mean me. So that I can pretend. Where's my little, like, corner thing? So maybe I could do, like, I'll open the graph. I'll try to put the mother brain to the side, I guess. Come on, mother brain. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. I like how my editor tries to be helpful and unhelpful at the same time. But that's probably how Unity is, right? Am I right? You know I'm right. Okay. There's our battle action nonsense. Here's our... Where's that? Battle action and animation planning 2.0. All right. Action node graph. Action node graph will be... Why is it like jumping? Graphs used to describe animations, map effects, to display action. Etc. These nodes should be leverage as much as possible. Commands used by story graph, not used. Because I don't wanna. Do that, we need to inject the graph as part of the battle running, but keep it okay. This is me writing notes. This is how I think through solving problems. What do you do when you solve problems? Some people write code. I make documents that I never look at ever again after I write the document. Ever. Not totally true, but mostly true. Very common for me to write giant documents that I will bring up and say, look what I wrote. Do you know what's in there? Nope, no idea. Just a little drink. Because really, who needs to know what's going on anymore, right? Okay, so then what do we need to make these graphs work? 4 nodes. Below with some description. We is royal we, because I don't know who else is gonna work on this crap. And you know, I'll be the royal we in this case. Table. Boom. All right. Node. So I want to do description inputs. I don't really know if there needs to be inputs. I don't usually do multi-input nodes. I only take one input. So I'm going to do output. Excuse me. Outputs. Node. Entry. Entry? Start. Maybe we make it just a start node. We'll call it. All right. Can we have multiple entries in an action sequence? Oh, no. Don't think too hard, Mati. Don't do this to yourself. No. We are going to be responsible and start with the idea that these action graphs have one entry point, which means we should only be able to have one start node. Graphs will have, because the second you start accounting for multiple entry points, you just confine yourself to a world of hurt. We will require allow only have a single entry point, which is a start. And I guess start makes sense. I could call it entry, but start makes sense. Start node. This no parameters. Merely used. Merely used to indicate the start. Outputs. Default. Only one output. Because if we want to do like conditional logic, we'll just put a condition branch in there, right? And I mean, have graphs where we can have multi-entry points, and I would say that in like the story planning, when we make a map graph where we can have multiple nodes that represent entry, it kind of makes sense. I mean, right now I would even say it kind of doesn't. If I go back and look at how we do it with our story graphs, it's a huge mess because we can have any node be something that triggers code. But this way, even though we'd have to have more graphs per action, it's discrete. Graph start, graph start. There's no like start or this or this or this or this, right? I think if anything, if you were going to do a graph that had multiple entry points, it would be more along the lines of events that you're triggering on. But in this case, an action is an action. You start the action, right? Maybe we want exit. End. Essentially, to indicate the graph is done with. We could also auto end graphs. Means if you at the end of a sequence graph. I'm not so sure. Like, I think we might want an exit or multiple exits, because if you're going to do like a sequence of events, sometimes you'll want, like when this processing is happening, the way that these node graphs work, or I guess even a script runner, is it'll keep running over and over and over again, right? Until it hits some ending. And so when the graph is running an action, it's possible you have a branch that runs and then you want it to come back and then run something else. I don't know if I want that as a rule or not. I gotta think about that. That wouldn't. Eventually, we could allow unclosed leaf nodes to cause the graph to start over, but would that be confusing? Question mark. If we do have end nodes, it would be possible based on where branches. But an end node would not. End nodes automatically return control. So an end node would just be like, we'll revert back to whatever graph called it. I do kind of like, there's something about it that feels okay, but I'm just not so sure. No, okay. What other core nodes do we need for an action? I don't know if we need more, do we? Start and end or exit? Start and end? Corn odes, music to my ears. What? Corn odes. Corn odes? Why are you just now getting the shout out? Did you leave and come back? Ears of corn? Oats to corn? Nodes? I don't know what we're talking about. I'm gonna go look at my code. For nodes? Corn ode. Did I say something about corn and ode? I'm scared right now, Tom. What are you saying? I'm in an airport, man. Everything's going over my head. Four nodes. Oh, that's. Now I feel really dumb. Thank you. Thank you for making me feel like an idiot. I appreciate it to such a degree that I can't even describe. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I just realized something that is a little problematic with my node. Nodes and usages. Do that. I appreciate it, Tom. You're funny. Ha 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 ha. That's something I would do. Four nodes. Four nodes. Four nodes. Yeah. Below are some nodes and possible usages in this graph. There are some considerations we would have to make. How we solve when trying to reuse nodes from the story graphs, because they rely on the concept of targeting, and we don't have the ability to know based on the map. Okay, we don't. One problem we have is in our store nodes, it doesn't have anything. I do think your joke is really funny, actually, Tom. After the fact, just my brain was not connected. In our story nodes, we know the map we're on, so we can get actual identifiers for objects that will be on the map. In a battle, we don't know what map we're on, which means whatever our potential targets are, they're not going to be map targets. So I think I'm going to do like nodes command rework. We will either need to enhance or rebuild, and we have used story nodes to hopefully have action on the map. Below are some of the key considerations. I write this like I'm writing documentation for somebody. Targetable command. On a map, this is usually used to identify possible targets for the battle. We won't be able to know ahead of time the specific target, so we will have to rely on the current target and some other method of finding available targets. I don't know if do I need settings? I think so. I think I'm just gonna break this down like it's I like to use tables because they just help me think in a tabulated way. I should really live in Japan because Japan, they use tables for everything. But they use spreadsheets for everything. Because the way the Japanese thought process and writing is very much like tabulated. So it's funny, like our former publisher, are based in Japan, and every time we had to like share information or knowledge, they would provide spreadsheets. Like, why is everything in a spreadsheet? And it's just because of the way they think and the way the writing works. It's very well structured, and sheets provide that. Funny. The hard part is like a spreadsheet sucks for things like spell check and just maintainable text. But they just get used to it. So current target, some other method of defining available target panel, possible target types. So one is going to be current target. It's going to be whoever is executing the action. One would be monster target. No. So we could do current target, or we could do subject. So one problem we're going to run into is if you have a discrete subject, like something you're attacking, there's one of them. But if you have like an attack all, every one of them would have to execute. I guess you could still do it, right? So you could do like the current target, or there's subject. What's another word for like who's being targeted? Current target, selected target. That'd be like who the one or more thing being targeted. Question mark? I don't know how else we say it. Maybe there's a different word for it, but select the target, current target. The current is usually what we've used with the other things, so I'll just keep it. Then we could say monster target. Numeric. It'd be like 1 through 6 or a possible target. I don't know if I really want that though. Like discretely specifying a target is a problem for a battle action. Presumably, if we are executing a battle action, it is a thing that is either chosen by the player or by the NPC, by the monster, the computer. And the target should be known. So I don't think I should ever have the ability to arbitrarily pick a number. I think I could do like I want to figure out, there's a word for when you're targeting. So selected target could be a single or multiple. That would just be, if there's 5 targets, it's going to execute the same sort of action on all 5 of them. Whereas if I want to select a specific one, okay. Provide a way to select specific actions. Multiple. That's probably what I would do. Okay, so we have current target is the player, the person doing the attack. Selected target is going to be the thing that you're going to attack. Then you would also want the ability to select a one or more party member, I think. Because there could be some effect or animation or something you want to have your party members action, right? Current party. Do all, or whatever your party is. Whether it's the monster's party or the other way. I don't know if there's any other targets we'd want. We could do map target, right? So if we did a map target, it'd have to be named map target. It'd be a string that represents the name of a target on the map. Target on the current map. Can't really do more than that since don't know. But we could have like, we know that for every battle we inject some kind of object on the map that we're going to use, and then we can use that one. Okay, so we want a targetable command. Oh, I know a node we need to do. We need a node that we can like spawn an event. Spawn or add. I don't want to say spawn. Add map object. Or we may say event or add object question mark. We need a way to effectively spawn in objects executing. So this is, and actually the interesting part about this is, okay, parameter. When this is done, we also need label. So if we're going to add something, we want to be able to like label it and use it. Because what's going to happen is, for instance, that meteor attack right now on our battle system, we just have a meteor floating in the back. But if we're going to do a meteor attack, then what we really want to do is spawn in an object. I'll even show it just so there's some sort of sanity reference to this. We want to spawn in the object, give it a name, and then use it for the course of that attack. And theoretically, we would want to clean it up now. Also want to consider afterwards. All right, so now I'm going to go make sure that we're actually looking at the graph node. There we go. Oh, I lost that. Just because it's weird to see the code on the side. Okay, so we need a way to add map object. Outputs, I think there's just default. There's no real reason to do anything else afterwards. So we want a targetable command for sure. What other commands do we have to consider? Let's take a look. What we got? Better take a look at this cliche walk. Showing emotes is fine. So targetable is going to be one of the key things, because the targets are how we define actions that happen on a map. That's like the major core component of all of this. We have settings. We probably need some kind of node for information about battle, but we even have nodes for that somewhere that I might just have to reuse. Show high battle window, that doesn't really need to be used. I was going to pull this over so I can show an example of battle. If we have like the Summiton forest, for instance. This is what's ridiculous. In order for that meteor attack to happen, we had to, this is early days battles, right? We had to put just this random object that we pull on, and then we're like, okay, the way that we were going to solve it originally, before I started doing all this craziness, we were going to put like 5 events on the map, and then we would just pull from one of those events and give it an animation. But I don't really want to deal with that. What I want to be able to do is spawn an object on the map, play the object, get rid of the object. There's no reason not to do that. Because this is just like, it'd be ridiculous to have to manage these things, right? 3D burst moves is what it's called. So theoretically, we could take this one object and change its model, but it's not like that. And also with on-map battles, we couldn't do it anyway because we're going on map. So we'd have to be able to put it somewhere on the map and then clean it up that way. All right, what do we got here? Playing audio doesn't matter. Changing settings. What is that? I never even did anything with that. Oh crap. I must have been thinking I was gonna have like a generic setting thing. Screen effects. I don't know if these really matter either. These ones, presumably I can make a variables might matter. Let me think here. Set local variable. So variables might matter in this case, and I don't know exactly how I want to deal with them. What variables would we need? We are going to need a way to deal with variables in battle. I'm going to have to figure out, that's going to be an important one to figure out. Or even if I don't do battles, I make some other way to do this stuff. So it's really variables? Variables? What do we call it? Set local variable. I'll just say it's all variables. Right now, variables are tied. Yep, we will need a way to manipulate variables, but we have an issue not doing it. So that means like very likely anything we do with variables within a battle is going to be temporary, because the objects that we might be messing with aren't going to be ones that are permanent after the battle unless we have a way to refer to them. One possible positive setup is that we could use need to consider how much here, and or consider an alternative. I really don't know the answer to this one. The big thing is that our condition setup, like doing condition checks and stuff, they do rely on variables too. And if we want to keep those, I have to figure out what to do about it. Okay. Change target, hero targetable command, doesn't matter. Play motion. Where things get kind of interesting. So a lot of these things, like play motion, they end up calling these events in Smile Game Builder. So to convert these to a system that's not using the script runner, I basically have to circumvent all of this logic. None of it's, I mean, it won't be terrible, I don't think, knock on wood. It's just going to be interesting. Because actually what's really cool is that play motion, if I go to map character, because these are things that we deal with, they actually have play motion. So motions can be played outside of the script runner. I basically just have to figure out how to call this. I'm getting like dry lips. I'd have to figure out how to call this outside of the script runner, but that's okay. I don't know if I need to take note of that. Okay. And then waiters might be important. Do I need to know something about this? How does the wait? I don't think I'd even need a command for wait. I just have a wait node. Got some new pictures of our new hot new characters. All right, you guys all see that later. Does waiting matter? I mean, no. Making a wait solution is easier if I don't use Smile Game Builder, I think. Now, we're not going to have QuickTime events in our battles. Jacob and I agreed that we're not going to do that. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. Okay. So we're not going to have QuickTime events. So I think that's good. I think. let's see, where are we here? Commands, scripting, commands, events, options, positions. I think we're good there. Let me just take a look at our nodes and see if there's anything else I have to consider for the story. Or even our battle nodes, because we have like battle type nodes here. Battle action node, let's see. Battle parallel node, battle start node. So these are nodes that trigger during battle in the event system. This is interesting. So in our current system, using Smile Game Builder purely, like if we're just using Smile Game Builder, we have battle nodes. I think the best one to look at would be like our dojo battle. I think we do that. That has the most complexity. So this is a battle graph. This is a graph that intercepts Smile Game Builder events during execution and executes different things. And actually, I think I could just, technically I think I can just let these be. Maybe. No, because these are tied to battle maps. So I would have to consider changing this up and repurposing it. So all of these nodes, I'd have to all the ones that are like tailored for battle, I'd have to repurpose. This is like when the battle starts, do this. So these are not action nodes. These are battle events. How is that going to work? I've opened another Pandora's box here. Battle events allow us to do things like dialogue in the battle. But if we're going to do on map battles, I guess we would could just tie the battle map. Maybe I don't have to solve this problem. I might be able to get away with leaving these as they are, because these aren't really meant for like changing actions that happen during the battle. This is meant for altering other things that happen in battle. I don't know if I can solve this problem yet. I'll find out the hard way with these. A little side chat going, and we're talking to Wayne Wanyo. He's like, Dragon Warrior was his first RPG, and it's like, yep, that was my first RPG too. Dragon Warrior NES. I remember playing it at my dad and stepmom's place, and they didn't understand video games, so they're like, well, you can only play for an hour, then you got to go play outside. And I just remember trying to get as far as I could in an hour in Dragon Warrior. Very addicting. Hold on. If anyone remembers this music. Do 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 do. Yeah? Huh? Do do do. Meow 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 meow. It's just like, like screen burn from CRT monitors. It's like burnt into my brain, that music. Anyway, that's not this music that's playing now. But now that music can be in my head this whole time. Okay. So we have I gotta make a note of this because I know this is gonna be consideration. This is battle action. We also need like events. Nightfall. Mati shakes. What's shaking? Night falling through the night. How are you? Event node graph. This we will eventually need to consider how to replace battle node graph. Story nodes. Then that changing on map means we need a way. Paste on the map and allow for event that we are not solving this problem right now, though. I cannot handle it. Feeling good? That's great. I'm good. I'm feeling better. I was sick. So this is so my wife goes out of town Wednesday night. And it's stressful to have 3 kids to take care of. But what makes it even worse is that Thursday nights, my stomach started rumbling and hurting, and I had stomach issues all that night. I think I got maybe 4 hours of sleep at best, and all of Friday I was down for the count. So I had to get the kids to school, except for my eldest daughter, who was also sick. It like flu-like symptoms for her. And then I slept half a day, couldn't function, could barely move every time I got up. Ooh, rough. And all the way through last night, I was pretty bad. I got like tons of Imodium, which helped. And now I'm better today, but my wife's out of town until tomorrow. This is typical. One of us goes out of town and everything falls apart. It's like the lack of one spouse causes an imbalance in the force, and everything just starts to fall apart. I am better today, though, other than being extraordinarily gassy. I don't know if that's TMI, but you're here, so sorry. Okay. So, what is this? So, I need to figure out my battle system stuff. I need to figure out where I'm going to inject these nodes and how I'm going to inject the nodes. To me, the easiest way to do this is to allow parallel functionality to happen so that I'm not completely breaking everything. So what I'm going to do is make a start node. Do I want start node to be... Because we have a battle start node, right? It's an I start event. Oh no, that's not... That's where do we got here? Battle node. How do we do? Go look at my battle graph. This is actually the stuff that I really like to do. When Waller and I talked about some of my ideas, and he basically helped me validate the direction I was thinking of going. It was funny to hear his description of the problem. because I agree with it. And also, he's like, I don't like solving any of these type of problems. And I'm like, what do you mean? I love these type of problems. These are my favorite type of problems to solve. Figuring out like how to do something from a processing perspective versus visual is fun. And he goes, no, that's not fun at all. Like Wallaber likes to work on things where he can see sort of an immediate result, where he like the logic he's making is directly tied to the action the player's taking. But a battle system is more, again, it's like this brain, honestly, is like there's a lot of logic and stuff that happens, and then the thing that you see is just the effect of that. It doesn't, you could have a battle without any visuals and it would still work. I could not have any action of the characters going back and forth. I could just have like you choose to attack, something happens, it told you the result. And I really like that. I love the whole notion that you could simplify a system down to calculations and the rest is just showing the player what happened. I don't know why that makes me happy, but I like it a lot. And he's like, I don't really, for him, I think it's because the display of the action is just flavor. It's uninteresting. It's just the act of making something show in a fancy way. So Wallaber would rather do something where he creates a system of physics and otherwise where, there's emergent behavior. You can't really get emergent behavior by discrete. I mean, you could, but not very much. Unless you're doing a game like so man, so many people in my head, and they haven't been on my stream for a little bit. Dang it! If I remember their name, I'll say it. But they have like a physics-based RPG where you like line up a shot, basically like you're playing pool, and your character hits them and bounces. So there's emergent behavior from that. There's no emergent behavior from this. You attack, something happens. You can get interesting outcomes, but it's all, very discrete structure. And I think the reason I like it, not only just because it's how my brain works, but even when I had my capstone, no, not my capstone. I took a design class in college where you had to do like, design of objects and stuff and class diagrams and stuff. And the end of that class, we were supposed to do a project with the team. And I don't recall if it was you had to make a game or you just had to make something with state. But my team decided we're going to make a Monopoly-like game. And historically speaking, I've always visually thought of things before I thought about the technical. I'd always think, oh, I want to make this game look really cool, but I wouldn't think about under the hood. And so it always stressed me out because I'm like, oh, I'll make this whole Monopoly board, because in the past I would. And then I wouldn't know how to make the Monopoly board work. Or I'd start to make it work, but the board I made isn't very usable and it'd become a pain in the butt. So we decided for this group, we would just make Monopoly work without a board. It would all be text-based, like a console-based thing, or the terminal. And after that experience, I just really liked the notion that all the graphics could come later. That you focus purely on the logic of the game in its simplest form, and then everything on top of that can be added or enhanced. I don't know why I like that, but it certainly fits the RPG style. And I really don't remember where I was going with my thought process on working on things. Oh, I know. I was looking for this. Battle entry. Okay, that's what it's called. So I wanted to see how... I called it entry. So maybe I'll call the other one entry. Excuse me. So this is the sequence nodes. Okay. Okay, so I remember that what I had done is I made a battle folder, but I also made a graph folder. What did I do? Somewhere in here. 4? node graph. Yeah, so I started making base graphs. Okay. So this is okay, I think. I think it's okay to put all the battle related stuff in here because the battle graphs, the things that trigger like battle actions can still be sort of separate. Nodes. I made action nodes, but we don't need that. Delete. I guess the real question is whether I want battles and actions to be distinctly different. We have nodes, we have sequence, we have action. Okay. This is a little confusing because the actions that I want are like animation sequences. I need to figure this out because I am ostensibly creating a whole different graph. And I'm going to get confused if I have like node action like this, but then I have like action graphs. Maybe I do need action node, or I just need a different word for it, maybe. What did I call it? This is play action animation. So call it action UI, action. I hate naming things. I tried to do the, oh, okay, well, I'll just chat GPT it, but chat GPT also sucks at naming things. So, not always. Sometimes there's some good ones in there, but it's not like, oh, I'll solve all my problems. Nope. I had 99 problems. I asked chat GPT, then I had, 110 problems. So maybe what I need to do is make this battle nodes. Because then, or sequence nodes, maybe? Because all these are very specific to like the battle sequence. Maybe that's what I should do. It's gonna cause me some headache, I think. What other special things do I need for action nodes? If I call this sequence nodes, I'm going to have to change the namespace. Why can't I rename the names? Shift F6. Okay. Maybe I can right click. Refactor. Nothing here. Fudge your face off. Nothing here. Why can't I refactor this? We can go to the base one or something. What the hell? Oh, I see. They're all in folders. Okay. So the reason is because we don't have a base. We don't have a base node here. I really have to find every one of these things and change it? I don't want to do that. Factor. Come on. Too many nodes here. All right, let's see if I can do it differently. We're gonna add just a random class. Yeah. Don't even give a fuck. Oh, that. See if I can change it now. I don't know why my refactoring's not working. Okay, well, I don't want to get myself in trouble, so what I'll do for now is I'll just keep it node. It's not worth it right now. All right, so we're gonna do. I guess I'll go back to having action node. I don't even know how many nodes I need here, but action node. All right. So what we'll have is we'll do an entry. How did I do the entry thing? I did it in the sequence, I think. Yeah. I think I'll just make the entry node in the base. We'll make action entry node. Maybe. Battle action entry node. Battle action entry node probably makes sense. Now the question is, do I need a sequence node or do I just need a base? I think I need. Do I need a base action node? I could probably use a base sequence node actually. I think I can just use a base sequence node because it's just a all this does is pass in the content. And it is part of the battle sequence. We'll find out. Hopefully it'll work. Problem is going to be when I get into like dealing with context, but we'll see. All right. So we have an entry node. We'll just return true because that's just, we don't do anything here. And I should be able to then put it onto action graph. Did not. Specified cast is not valid. Wait, is it supposed to be compiling? Why is it not compiling? What did I miss? Oh, it's compiling. What happened? I asked the receptionist to call me a taxi. You shouted, "You're a taxi." Oh, they shouted. This is weird. What happened? I asked the receptionist to call me a taxi. They shouted. It's a weird way of writing a joke. A man had an accident while playing peekaboo. He's currently recovered in the ICU. I think, so I got a lot of planning done. I know this wasn't really a lot of work done stream, but I think just solidifying my visual thought process is good. I don't think I'm going to stick around much longer because I still have to get up with the kids tomorrow. All right, action nodes. Look at that. We have action nodes. Good. So we are able to put the entry node in here. I'll worry about like what happens there and there, but in order to get to the spot where I can make an action happen in battle, I don't think I want to stick around and fight this battle right now. Partially because I have to pee. And partially because it's almost 11 and I think it's reasonable for me to wrap up. Not a major like, oh, I got lots of work done. I got a lot of planning done today. I got some like, I kind of framed up in my mind what is going to be accomplished. Which is sort of the next phase. I actually have real notes, not just this chicken scratch I have down here. And I think by the next time I stream, I'll have some pieces together where I can actually show, like I can work on the notes. The next time I work on stream, I'm betting it's just going to be a lot of like node play. You know what I mean? Gonna play with my nodes on stream. They're gonna be very pleasant, I think. But I can already feel my voice getting a little choppy, so I'm gonna wrap up and call it a good day. Got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. Thanks for hanging out today, Killboy. Who should we go see? I am not gonna knock on Aaron's door. Although he does seem to be one of the few streamers. Yeah, I guess Aaron's one of the few that's actually working on stuff, right? Is he? I always seem to look at his stream when he's doing his powerlifting. Whatever. Small man animates chest with bones. Okay. So when we go into his stream, everyone should say, "Nice chest." Hey. For those that are coming along. Year end. Ending with ears. We'll go see Ear End. We'll tell him he has a nice chest. We'll move on with our lives. I'll be back on Tuesday. Hopefully I'll be much more healthy and stuff. You all hang in there. Me too. I'll have cool battle stuff to show because now I know the direction I'm going to go. So I will have it ready. I swear I'll have some stuff we can show. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.